doing good, just not better than them. None of them. If you need a man to stand up for the rights of the people and push the second district in the right direction, Mitch is your man, hands down. No. Watch the party you're voting. If it ain't Mitch, man, you're loafing. He's never sleeping on you, always on the move and working. Some fake politicians, they only know how to pretend. They want to see you doing good, just not better than them. None of 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 them. None
You matter with Meta.
What's Stacy Meta? Stacy. Hey. The country need him now, we can't wait for later. I'm telling you. What's Stacy Meta? A solution to our problems in our constitution. I'm telling you. What's Stacy Meta? Stacy. Hey. The country need him now, we can't wait for later. I'm telling you. What's Stacy Meta? Fix any situation in our nation, I'm telling you. A man with pride, nothing to hide. Stacey. Put the people first and friends aside. Meta. A voice for us that we can trust. Stacey. I advocate for the youths them. Meta. So on election day, put your X right there. Next to Stacey Meta. Educated and firm, competent and concerned. We voted Stacy Meta. What's Stacy Meta? Stacy. Hey. The country need him now, we can't wait for later. I'm telling you. What's Stacy Meta? A solution to our problems in our constitution. I'm telling you. What's Stacy Meta? Stacy. Hey. The country need him now, we can't wait for later. I'm telling you. What's Stacy Meta? What? Fix any situation in our nation, I'm telling you.
I am Stacy Meta, an at-large candidate for the Progressive Virgin Islands movement. On April the 20th and the 24th, go out and vote for myself and the entire PVIM team. You matter with Meta.
Randy gets it done. And listen when me tell him. Randy is the man who'll take this country forward. Randy gets it done. And Progressive Virgin Islands movement is the party with the plan. And let me tell you who he is now. A man of action, not just talking. Blah, blah, blah. He'll build us up, he's not joking. Okay. A leader whose record is proven. PVIM is the real thing. He's the leader we need in these times. He's got a strong team right behind. What me say? With PVIM and running, you got a party of integrity, financial stability, yes, economic prosperity. He get it done. Expert ability, Ronnie and PVIM for this territory. Ronnie gets it done. And listen when me tell him, Ronnie is the man who'll take this country forward. Ronnie gets it done. And Progressive Virgin Islands movement is the party with the plan. Progressive Virgin Islands movement is the party with the plan. Say Ronnie and PVIM is the party with the plan. You better believe he'll get it done. The party with the plan. Vote Ronnie Skelton. Shana. Vote Shana. Who we voting for? Shana. Let me go. Hey. Now is the time. Here is the plan. Shana's the one. Let's make the choice for change. Restoring the hope progressive Virgin Islands. Come join the movement. Put China in Delhi, we put her to work, watch her tackle the issues. With PVIM at the helm, I said we're moving forward. We need competent leaders working with people to progress this country. Put China and PVIM, cause integrity matters. Affordable home ownership, yeah we need that. Health and wellness for all, let's fix that. Business development, let's do that. I said we're moving forward. Quality education, let's get that. Trust in our leadership, yeah we need that. We want progression for all. Longevity to Anigada. Hey, now is the time. Here is the place. Shayna's the one. Let's make the choice for change. Cause integrity matters. Cause integrity matters. Cause integrity matters. Come join the movement.
She never quits. So vote for Shayna Smith.
I am with Ingrid. I am with Ingrid. She's ready to bring it. So everybody sing it. Yes, I am with Ingrid. I am with Ingrid. She's ready to bring it. So everybody sing it. Election day, vote for Ingrid Moses. She don't play, everybody knows it. Election day, vote for Ingrid Moses. God bless Ingrid Moses. God bless. Cause integrity is a practice. Yes, I am voting for Ingrid Moses. God bless.
Ingrid is someone we trust to stand up for us. Ingrid puts the country first. Integrity is a must. Check her background. Ingrid doesn't back down. Doing what's right no matter the price. She is not afraid.
She's ready to fight.
I am with Ingrid. I am with Ingrid. She's ready to bring it. So everybody sing it.
Election day, vote for Ingrid Moses. She don't play, everybody knows it. Election day, vote for Ingrid Moses. God bless Ingrid Moses. God bless. Cause integrity is a practice. Yes, I am voting for Ingrid Moses. God bless. Ingrid represents good government, yes. Ingrid represents youth empowerment, yeah. National security, development and diversity. For business and you and me. Virgin Island unity.
Yeah, some people talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. Ingrid suffered and fought, but she would not be bought. I am with Ingrid. I am with Ingrid. She's ready to bring it. So everybody sing it. Hey.
Election day, vote for Ingrid Moses. She don't play, everybody knows it. Election day, vote for Ingrid Moses. God bless Ingrid Moses. God bless.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but we don't need no change in the second district. Change in the second district. I don't know who needs to hear this, but we don't need no change in the second district.
And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, so we still sticking with Mitch. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, leave it. We still sticking with Mitch. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, leave it alone. PVIM, who we gonna vote for? PVIM, we voting for the blue team. PVIM, who we gonna vote for? PVIM, for Mitch and the blue team.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but we don't need no change in the second district.
with Mitch.
Taking back the country and making the BVI great again. None of them, 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 none of them. Yes, and none of them strong like Mitch, never defend the second so long like Mitch. And none of them have talk like Mitch, pushing the country forward like Mitch. And none of them ain't cool like Mitch, taking his opponents to school like Mitch. And none of them never stand up in the House of Assembly and talk the things like Mitch. Watch the party you're voting. If it ain't Mitch, man, you're loafing. He's never sleeping on you, always on the move and working. Some fake politicians, they only know how to pretend. They want to see you doing good, just not better than them. None of them, 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 none of them. If you need a man to stand up for the rights of the people and push the second district in the right direction, Mitch is your man, hands down.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2nd District launch right here in Caden Garden Bay of the man himself, Melvin Mitch Turnbull, where we're going to stick. Please stand for the invocation, which will be done by Archibald the Christian.
Good evening. Can we all stand for those of you that can stand? Heavenly Father, we come to you yet another night in King Garden Bay to present our candidates this evening, especially our candidate in the 2nd District, Mitch Turnbull, and we're sticking with Mitch. So tonight, God, we ask for your divine intervention. We ask that you guide the thoughts of the men and women of the PVIM as they come to deliver the plans for the 2nd District and the wider BVI. We pray, Lord, that you will open your ears and listen attentively to the messages that will be delivered tonight. And we ask that you bless the family of all the candidates, their friends and supporters. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Please remain standing for the territorial song, which will be sang by Micaiah Turnbull.
The huts of history, Spain, our ancestors bled and died. But with strength and with power we overcame to restore Virgin Islands' pride. To preserve the beauty we divide the plan, to maintain ownership of your precious land. Educating your people is a golden key to maintain the success of this territory. Oh, how radiant are your daughters, and how wealthy are your sons. Your beaches boast your beauty, and your success is second to none. Green and brilliant all your hillsides, they replenish our hopes and pride. Oh, beautiful Virgin Islands, your your qualities can never be denied. Oh, beautiful Virgin Islands, your qualities can never be denied.
Micaiah Turnbull, give a round of applause. Please be seated, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. This is the launch of the 2nd District right here in the King Garden, Bay Park. And we are getting ready to rock and roll. Let's get in this mic. Here we go. Wonderful. So we're going to get moving straight away with the man himself, Stacey Mather, teacher, environmentalist. He's had 15 years of management experience, 20 plus years of teaching, 10 years as an educator. And you're going to find out very soon that this young man is very passionate about the youth and about the elderly. And he's got a bachelor's degree, magna cum laude, in elementary education, a master's degree in education, administration, and leadership. He's accomplished in marketing and media. Please put your hands together for the man that matters, because you matter, with Stacey Mather.
A solution to our problems in our constitution. I'm telling you, what's Stacey Mather? Stacey, hey, the country need him now. We can't wait for later. I'm telling you, what's Stacey Mather? What fix any situation in our nation? I'm telling you, a man with pride, nothing to hide. Stacey, put the people first and friends aside.
Greetings, District 2 residents and voters, those of you here tonight and those of you in your homes across King Garden Bay, Chowell, Bruce Bay, Mares, Spooners, and Just Van Dyke. I think I just smiled more than I've ever in my life. The 2nd District is one of the main tourism hubs in the BVI, a district that has great pride in their work and their country. As a resident of this district, I am ready to strike my X, ready to cast my vote. We don't need no change in the 2nd District, because it ain't broke. I am sticking with Mitch. I wanted to get it out straight out the gate. Within this district, we fish, we farm, we engage our people in water sports, sailing, provide some of the best local food in this country. We welcome guests to our hotels and guest houses by some of the friendliest people in the BVI. The 2nd District is still part of nature's little secret. But above all, my favorite thing about the 2nd District are the young, active minds in this district. The hope of our territory's future is within these young boys and girls. As an educator and youth development worker, I have spent the last 30 years of my life focusing on developing programs to educate and enrich the lives of our youth. I am firmly of the belief that each community must invest in ensuring that these youngsters get the guidance and direction that they need. A nation built on our youth is a nation that will succeed. Tonight, I would like to zero in on the needs of our youth in the 2nd District and across the territory as the major priority that they must be. It is imperative that the Ministry of Education and Youth Affairs works with the district representatives and communities to have a ledger with the names, dreams, and hopes of the most vulnerable children across our territory. These youngsters must be given the support that they need. I can remember a bright-eyed girl on the eastern side of the island. She looked up at me, and she said, Mr. Mata, I had wanted to tell her she mattered. I said, listen, tell me. She said, I lack child support. I was like, what do you mean by child support? This child lived in a home with a family. She said, when I get home, there is no one to help me with my homework. There is no one to talk with me. There is no one to study with me because they are all busy. We must give our children the support that they need. And this can only be done when you elect someone who truly cares about our young people. You can only get this when you elect someone that knows that our youth matter, and that is Mata. When is the last time that we have heard of $1 million investment in a youth program in our territory? Look around at our basketball courts, or playgrounds, or parks, or community centers. Right here in this district, they will throw blame on Mitch, but that is not and has not been his responsibility. The needs of our children have not come first. They have only come last. We must end, and it will, when the 2nd District votes for a PVIM government. I can recall spending years speaking with Mitch about the programs that could have happened, should have happened in our territory. We've explored ideas for children and youth in this district for years, and it is that frustration that has led me to leave where I am and stand here tonight. It has been my hope that programs similar to YEP would have been spread across this territory, but due to the politics and politicians playing with the youth of our territory, that has never been realized. In fact, most of the government-run programs focused on youth development have been discontinued. But once elected, myself and the PVIM government will ensure that these things happen. Number one, we will return the definition of a youth in the BVI to under 15. It is unconscionable that we define a young person in the BVI as someone who is 15 to 29. Unconscionable, because we all know that our children's birth and our children's existence does not begin at 15. We will reintroduce a national after-school program and summer programs for our children, which will focus on BVI history, lifestyles, and local talents that will be learned and passed on. We will increase the opportunities for our children to participate in programs like martial arts, dance, swimming, during school hours and after school, because there is a disconnect between those who can afford these programs and those who cannot. We will develop and implement programs to target ages 14 to 25 to ensure that this critical age is no longer susceptible to crime. We will strengthen the sports programs and competitions within our community to make sure that our athletes are developed, and those that exist, we will strengthen them. We will address and develop infrastructure for youth development programs and sports, which includes the courts. And as I said last night, we will rebuild the Sir Rupert Brightcliffe Hall as a performing arts center. Now I say to you tonight, 2nd District, this will be done. We, this team, will make it happen. And it begins right here by electing Melvin Mitch Turnbull as a man who cares about the youth and a man who lives because of his people. I grew up being told to go to school and learn your lesson. But our schools have changed, and our environments are only being held together by those still dedicated to the teaching profession. As an educator for over 13 years, in both our primary schools and as a lecturer at HLSCC preparing teachers, I am aware of the issues in our schools, and it is time to address them. Yes, sir. Yeah. A PVI-led government will return our schools to their glory. We'll address what has been painted over and passed by. Our plans are deep and comprehensive. But most of all, our plans are for education are guided by our teachers, our students, and not the bureaucracy and buzzwords that have become common. Yes, We cannot move forward until we understand our entire education system, where we are putting our money and where our money should go. So we will begin with a review. We will address better compensation for our teachers and the working conditions that our teachers and our students exist in today. We will strengthen our school environments with emphasis on discipline, conflict resolution, peace resolution, character development, and safety. We all saw that video floating around yesterday. And we must understand that there are two things that must be addressed: the bullying of the child and also how that child became a bully. We will complete the infrastructure development of Elmore Stout High School and move the Virgin Islands Technical Institute to where it belongs. We will address the long-term teacher shortages in key areas through proper recruitment. We will reintroduce summer schools so that our students who are not meeting promotional standards can be given a chance. We will introduce and pass a Disabilities Act because our special needs citizens and students in our country must matter. We will construct, as my teammate Ingrid has said, a public library. But above all, we will ensure that education gets what it deserves. Many of us have worried about our schools, our youth, and as a team, we are well aware of what needs to be done. I am here to assure you that a PVIM-led government will return the affairs of this great district and nation once again to its glory. We will make certain that our children have an education and opportunities that they deserve. We know what we want. We want a territory where our tax-paying dollars is spent on what matters most. Our children are top priority. We want to be included as a public in decisions made for our future. We do not want to be dictated to or insulted by those who we elect. We want leaders who can be trusted and will keep their hands off of the public funds. We want leaders who can be trusted and keep their hands off the public funds. We want leadership that makes decisions for its people. But most of all, we want a leader we can trust, and that is Honorable Ronnie W. Skelton, our next Premier. A heavy name to say. I will continue to say this, that our investment in our people is an investment that we must make. A PVIM government will demonstrate that an investment in our people is the best investment we can make. We will make certain that all Virgin Islanders have the opportunity to grow, study, and learn, to train, to expand their horizons for a better BVI. We have plans. We have solutions. The public has been asking, and I ask you to listen, because it is being given to you. District 2 has issues, and the wider BVI has issues, but guess what? We will have solutions, and we will fix these issues. District 2, tonight, we need your help. On April the 20th and 24th, we need you to send a resounding message to those who have broken our trust and sought to squander the future of our children. It is time to rebuild the Virgin Islands with sound governance, to restore accountability to the taxpayers and the future of these islands. Set a new course for our youth, a course of hope, a course of progress. Tonight, I say to you, I am a resident and a voter in this district. So District 2, like District 1, you're getting 2 representatives. My ex is going to the best candidate in this district race. As an educator, I know who is best for our youth. And without a doubt, among those 3, it is him. I have worked at Altes Scatliff Primary School, and I am more confident in the leadership of Melvin Mitch Turnbull. With him, the children of the 2nd District will have a better and brighter future. I am eager to work with him in the next House of Assembly, and I'm asking the voters of the 2nd District to put him back in. If it ain't broke, then at large, on that ballot, Vote for the man who is no stranger. Vote for the man who knows that education matters, that youth matter, that a better Virgin Islands matters. Put your X on automatic on me. When you look for the lady that will never quit, the 1st District, Shayna Smith, put that X on automatic. Then when you go and look for Ingrid Moses Scatliffe, the former speaker, attorney at law, and agent of hope, put that change on automatic. The best finance minister, a man who is selfless, a man who will lead, put that X on automatic for the next premier of the Virgin Islands. Put it on Honorable Roddy W. Skelton. Members and voters of the 2nd District, this is what will help all of us. Let's carry the BVI to a new wave. Vote for the PVIM movement. Put it on automatic.
What's this later? The country need him now, we can't wait for later. I tell you, what's this later? A solution to our problems in our constitution. I tell you, what's this later? Hey, the country need him now, we can't wait for later. I tell you, what's this later? Fix any situation in our nation.
Well, my boy, that was some fire there. What are you saying? That was some fire. Mitch was firing with all Stacy. No, I'm thinking I was sticking with Mitch. I'm thinking I was sticking with Mitch so much. I just got some notes here. So I'm trying to catch myself here. But coming up next is none other than a lady who is a real fireball. But let me just say a couple things first. But I want to bring to your attention. Stacy said, if it ain't broke, don't what? If it ain't broke, thank you. Because we sticking with who? Who we sticking with? Thank you. $1 million investment into the youth. Redefine the youth. Rebuild the Breakfast Hall. Listen, I wanted you to understand something. It's not funny wasting BVI money. It's not funny. It's not cool. It's not funny wasting BVI money. So therefore, we want to bring up an engineer who is the voice of hope, the voice for change, a project manager. She is a true patriot of this country. Y'all hear what I say? Patriot. Just over the road, over the hill, right? She went to school, Capoons Bay, and then to BVI High School. 20-year span. She managed government and private sector projects. She was part of the transition to the new People's Hospital, construction of the Nurse Iris O'Neill Medical Center, development and implementation of CAPS. Y'all know what CAPS is? When you're going to take your goods, and now you're going to write up 50 pieces of paper because it's all online. You know who did that? Who did that? Shayna. Okay, thank you. By the way, she's also certified in workplace mediation. And here it is. She holds a 6 Sigma green belt. That's not karate. Listen to me. Listen, she has a motto. If it's not part of the solution, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of what? The problem. Please put your hand together and help me welcome part of the dream team of the PVIM, Shayna Marianne Smith Archer.
Shayna's the one. Let's make the choice for change. Cause integrity matters. Cause integrity matters. Come join the movement.
She never quits, so vote for Shayna Smith.
Love it, love it. 2nd District family, friends, and residents, good evening. We're looking good tonight. My name, as you have heard, is Shayna Marianne Smith Archer, your progressive Virgin Islands movement at large candidate as part of the best at large team currently. I am the daughter of the late Egbert A. Smith and Belviana Fraser Smith, affectionately known as Teacher Bell, and the granddaughter of maternal grandparents, the late Bristol Fraser and Francis Thomas Fraser, and my paternal grandparents, one of which is right next door, Olive Colwood Smith and Owen Smith. It is on their strong shoulders that I stand tonight. As an engineer and project manager, I have spent my career solving problems throughout this territory on projects, as was mentioned, CAPS, which was about making the declaration of passengers as well as cargo more efficient and easier for us, and the North Iris O'Neill Medical Center that upgraded, a much-needed upgrade to the medical services to our residents in Virgin Gorda. As a community-minded individual, I have been and am still deeply concerned about the state of affairs of our country, and I have made it a mission over the years to courageously speak out against the injustice that I may see. I have been actively working towards creating a brighter future for today and the next generation of Virgin Islanders through the Virgin Islands Civil Service Association and the BVI Chamber of Commerce. I have been working for you even before I have been hired because I love my BVI. I approach this campaign with humility and recognize the importance of what I am asking and my colleagues are asking of you tonight, to place your trust in us as a representatives of your Virgin Islands community as territorial candidates and district candidates. The responsibility is one where the country is my district, and I pledge to be your voice of hope and change agent for a brighter future. For far too long, our Virgin Islands have been plagued with issues such as the increasing cost of living, slow economic growth, social ills, and derelict infrastructure. We are a people of excellence and deserve better than the substandard quality of life we have been experiencing in a billion-dollar economy. This tells me that money is not the problem. As an engineer, we like to identify problems, right? Yeah. Money is not the problem. It is the management or mismanagement of it. As a leader, I will be a defender of the public purse so that we can build a country that future generations can be proud to call home. Yes. Second District family, I know that with the right vision, planning, and execution, and you've already heard it from my colleague, Buddha, tonight, a PVIM government and you can restore a good quality of life here in our Virgin Islands. When elected, I pledge to use my engineering skills and experience to lead efforts to address these issues head on. I will bring my project management experience to ensure that we build a country in a sustainable, efficient, and equitable way. On your behalf, I will focus on all types of infrastructure that raises the quality of life through better paying jobs and career opportunities, access to high-quality medical services across the territory, and empowering our people through education, as you saw Buddha map out tonight. My goal is to ensure that every decision that we make is guided by the best interests of you, the citizens, both now and in the future. This team stands before you today with a clear vision. Can you see it? Yes. All right. For the future of our Virgin Islands. And we have a deep commitment to make that vision a reality. I know that talk is cheap, and we are in talking season. And that is why I want to make it clear that our platform is not built on empty promises and pie-in-the-sky stories. We are fully committed to being transparent, accountable, and responsive to the needs of each district as the country's success is tied to each district's success. Tonight, we are here in support of the plans that our colleague Melvin Mitch Turnbull has for making your district the best it can be. And I am passionate about making sure that the quality of life in your district and every district is excellent. Here are some of the areas that I give my 100% support in. In a conversation today with a colleague that was a former athlete as well as parents of athletes, he asked about our plans for sports and our athlete development, and I shared with him our thoughts. As a side note here, whilst at the Ministry of Finance, under the guidance of the Minister of Finance, the best finance minister I would like to say in the last 20 years, I was a member of the project team that managed the new A.O. Shirley Recreation Grounds track and field facility. We had a full design that included a stadium with locker rooms, administrative offices, restrooms, and concession stand. When the government administration changed, the plans were placed on hold, and this has hampered the development of our athletes. This is a project, Mr. Chairman, letting you know tonight again. This project needs to be brought to completion. During the discussion, he also shared with me that governments need to understand that while facilities are important, assisting and collaborating with the various sports clubs and associations is just as, if not more important, because they are the ones that are driving the development of our athletes in any sport and not a ministry or department. As your at-large representative, I will work with our team to first have meaningful dialogue, not talk shop, with sporting stakeholders to develop a plan as to how we can unleash the potential of our athletes to compete internationally, receive scholarships for higher education through their athletic talent, as well as hosting sporting events that will grow our economy year by year through sports tourism. Now that's solution. A PVIM government will be committed to being intentional about realizing the potential of our country's greatest assets, our young people. Businesses are the backbone of our economy and provide the goods, services, tax revenue, and employment that we need to survive and thrive in our community. I also say business is in our DNA, because our foreparents and mothers ran the businesses, even though in their minds it was just about survival. But they provided the goods and services amongst each other, and that was the humble beginning of our economy. During my tenure at the BVI Chamber of Commerce and Hotel Association, I learned firsthand of the challenges that face new and veteran business owners today. The government's role in the economy is to regulate through policy and laws. And our team, we understand that the PVIM government must care and support businesses in a way that does not tie one hand behind their backs and still expect them to thrive. We need standards for public services if we want to see our businesses grow. 6 months waiting to hire an employee or 12 months for approval of a trade license is unacceptable in the 21st century. A PVIM government will prioritize public sector reform to ensure ministries and departments have the staff and resources they need to set service standards and deliver on them as to support the business sector. MB, how are you coming? Coming good? All right. Our young people, again, our greatest asset, are a high priority. Our young people are our greatest asset. And as a high priority, they need to be allowed to be innovative and recognize the new business trends. But often, they need finance to get started. Through the revitalized National Business Bureau, a program of business grants and loans will be developed that will ensure the next generation of business leaders are being groomed because we believe in legacy. One of our top economic priorities, since we are in the business of tourism, is the development of Prospect Reef Resort to further upgrade our guest accommodations. For those of us born in the 1970s, we remember the Prospect Reef of the old days, which was one of the prime hotel facilities here. And it is time for it to rise from the ashes. A PVIM government will dust off the files and put a plan in place to get this development rolling and brought to reality with accountability and transparency. Second District, in addition to these, I pledge my support to our colleague Mitch in these and many more solutions that he will outline for the district tonight, because I am the people's project manager. As I wrap up, I would like to remind us of the importance of voting, and I will not take this for granted, because tonight we have to talk about the power of a vote. We've spoken about this many nights now, about persons expressing their disappointment in politics and that they will not vote because it's not going to change anything. I completely understand the hopelessness because I was getting there too. But there are reasons why we cannot and must not stay home on the 24th of April. The first, voting is your right, but it is also your responsibility. Blood, sweat, and tears were shed for this right to mark an X, and we can never take that for granted. We are responsible, no matter how discouraged we feel because of broken promises, to elect persons of character and competence to manage the affairs of our country, and to show you the power of one vote. If we lose by one, we have lost because your vote matters. That vote matters. The second, not voting is like throwing the baby out with bath water. And this throws away the future for the future generations. 70 plus years ago, our foreparents protested for the return of a locally elected government. And to give up on it now because of the mistakes of a few is an injustice to them. They will be turning over in their graves if we allow this. We must have hope that the best years of our beloved homeland are still ahead of us. Second District, the best reason of all is that a proven leader with a vision, and you guys told me earlier, you see the vision, and the solutions is here with a team of persons that are capable and committed to restoring the soul of these beautiful Virgin Islands. We have soldiers, because this is going to be a battle. We have soldiers who are cabinet ready from day one. So there will be no on-the-job training, just letting you guys know. To execute the plans to improve the quality of life for everyone with good governance and inclusion. Remember that the thinking that created a problem cannot fix it. And our team offers a fresh and experienced perspective to bring the right solutions to reality. To do the same thing and expect a different result is called insanity. And our chairman warned us about that last night. Take it from me as a project manager. Do not hire plumbers to do electrical work. Do not hire plumbers to do electrical work and wonder why we are still in the dark. Voting is your voice. So on advanced polling day on the 20th of April and on election day, the 24th, use your voice loudly to ask for hope and change in the next House of Assembly. Second District and all my Virgin Islands family and friends, This election is about you hiring the best persons for the job to restore integrity and public trust in our political leadership. On the 24th of April, I humbly ask that you place your trust in me, Shayna Smith Archer, as an at-large representative, and for my PVIM at-large team, the best at-large team. Chairman Ronnie W. Skelton, because he gets the job done. Ingrid Moses Scatliff, I am with Ingrid. And Stacy Buddha Mehta, because it all matters with Mehta. I also want you to place your trust in Melvin Mitch Turnbull in the 2nd District. Because with your support, we are the team that will get the job done. Thank you and good night.
Who we voting for? Let me go. Hey. Now is the time. Here is the place. Shane is the one. Let's make the choice for change. Restoring the hope for a bright tomorrow. Progressive Virgin Islands. Come join the movement. Put China in there, we put her to work. Watch her tackle the issues. With PVIM at the helm. I said we're moving forward. We need competent leaders working with people.
Listen, listen. Do not hire plumbers to do what? Electrical work. Oh my goodness. Boy, that was a home run there, my girl. Huh? Let's give the people hope. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Listen, this is amazing. So listen, I want to explain to the people now that we're here to hear a very powerful speaker. But he's going to be introduced by a very, very special person. So I'm going to call to the podium the Reverend Dr. Michael A. Turnbull. Because we're going to stick with Mitch.
I don't know who needs to add this, but we don't need no change in the 2nd district.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, so we still sticking with Mitch. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, we still sticking with Mitch. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, leave it alone.
I am
Who we gonna vote for?
PVIM.
We voting for the blue team.
PVIM.
Who we gonna vote for? For Mitch and the blue team.
Good evening, Virgin Islands. Good evening, 2nd District. I come here on many capacities. Some may say, as a newly ordained senior pastor, you should not be here speaking. But before I was senior pastor, I was always Mikey, Mitch's little brother. And they've always tried in our country to keep the voice of Christian men and women quiet around this time. But they come to our churches and they pray and they call on God. And tonight, we are sending a clarion call for men and women of God to stand up for what is right, for truth and for justice. Tonight, I come to introduce a man, a young man that has been called and ridiculed over the last 8 years for doing one thing consistently, for standing up and speaking out, for standing up and speaking out. Sometimes when he spoke out, I called and I said, Mitch, you sure? Are you sure this is right? Are you sure you should take this stand? And he would say, I prayed about it. I see the writing on the wall. And tonight, 2nd District, some will say nothing has happened in the 2nd District, but in the last 4 years, we have highlighted over 25 singletary things that have been done on the national and second district level just in the midst of a COVID pandemic. But here's what was needed. Here's something that they do and they parade on. They parade on roads, which are bad. They parade on schools, which they couldn't rebuild with our Ronnie W. Skelton as the chairman of the RDA. They parade on a whole bunch of things, but here's what we said all along. He stood up and said, we need integrity. If it starts wrong, it can't end right. And tonight's second district, you have three choices. And I'm pointing you to the choice that has stood up in the face of a man who everyone else in his cabinet went quiet with. And he simply said, on this townhouse last year, months before our country was brought to a shame and this integrity that we've never felt before, that he said, you are allowing this person to gather everything around him, every portfolio that has money, and you are saying nothing. And he was interrupted, and Mitch stood up and said, I will not yield. I will not be quiet. I will not shut down. And tonight's second district, we will not yield to corruption. We will not yield to bribes. We will not yield to a fancy show. We will not yield to a motorcade, because those things have the UK breathing down our neck. So I ask you, do you want those that sat there for 2.5 years, while 3.5 years, while their portfolios were stripped down and they were quiet, while they watched mismanagement and were quiet, while they watched malfeasance and were quiet, while they watched dictatorship and were quiet, and all of a sudden, miraculously, they have found their voice. You cannot speak on behalf of me when it's triumph. When there was war, I needed to see you on the front line. And you stood silently while Team BVI died, while we suffered, while we languished in shame. And we are saying on April 24th, you don't get a chance, because a mistake is not a mistake when our country's future is at risk. So tonight, you who are here, you who are watching, here's the best thing that you can do when you go through, when they beat you, when they strip you, when they talk about you, when they take away your contracts, when they bully you, when they threaten your family. Here's what you're left with. We were born to strong men and women. 2 boys raised in a small apartment right next to the Methodist church, growing hand in hand. And my mother used to always tell us, you might be short, but use your voice. And my brother, for the last 8 years, used his voice. So right now, I want you to send a surrounding message. Who we sticking with? Who we sticking with? Who we sticking with? Who we sticking with? Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, let's welcome the man who stood up for the last 8 years. We are sticking with Mitch.
Yes! And none of them strong like Mitch, never defend the second so long like Mitch. And none of them have talk like Mitch, pushing the country forward like Mitch. And none of them ain't cool like Mitch, taking his opponents to school like Mitch. And none of them never stand up in the House of Assembly and talk the things like Mitch. Oh, watch the party you're voting. If you take Mitch, man, you're loafing. He's never sleeping on you. Always on the move and working. Some fake politicians, they only know how to pretend. They want to see you doing good, just not better than them. None of them, 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 none of them.
Second District community. King Garden community. BVI community. Your son is here. Your son is here. Just Van Dyke, massive, we soon come. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Stick with me. I want to thank my brother, Reverend Dr. Michael A. Turnbull, for that amazing introduction. And you're going to see that why we come from good cloth and good stock. Because I ain't tell my brother a thing I go going to say. But you're going to hear it again from me. The question is asked, who is Mitch Turnbull? Because I keep saying it's not what you call, it's what you answer to. So let me tell you who I am. I am the grandson of the late Morris Mento Papa and Lillian Nanny Turnbull. The late Albert Lee Dan Plummer Klein and Blanche Muddy Klein, who were from right here in the 2nd District between King Garden Bay and Mears. Not Mears, Mears. They didn't have much finance or education, but they delivered and they believed in God and understood what it meant to look out for those who were less fortunate. And my grandfather, Papa, always said, every time I was leaving, every time any one of us went to visit him, he ended with saying, be good until. And that's something that I kept with me. I'm also the son of Reverend Dr. Melvin Melly and Minister Marion Mummy Turnbull, who were born and raised right here in this village, not the village of King Garden Bay, where they have served in ministry and pastoring in the King Garden Bay Baptist Church for over the last 47 years and have just handed off the leadership of the church to my brother who you just heard from after 47 years. And they have been married for 44 years together. I am the husband of Jewel T. Turnbull for 16 years and the father of the apple of my eye who you heard earlier, Micaiah Amelia Turnbull, who is now 13. King Garden Bay, a 2nd District community. I from the Bay. I ain't coming to you because I come from you. I also was raised after 8 years old, again moved to Mears. So when you talk about introducing me, I want to let you understand that I am from this district. Everything in this district made me who I am, and I am standing firm, and I am standing proud to continue to represent you in the 2nd District and be your voice. I grew up in this district, in this community, between those two areas, where I was raised and molded and shaped by my older cousins like Keita Klein, Court and Neil and Ken and Shaka and Bigo, Fox, Delbert, Danny, Johnny, Lorenzo, Dari, Sensi, Planet, Dillinger, Chili, Snake, Lion, Jela, Blade, Cool, Haji, Mello, Bobble, Balik, Langman, Avon, Devon. These are the people that I know. I don't have to go introduce myself to them to look for a vote. They know me because they raised me. I grew up as a little boy right across over there, where Mr. Sandman is the first person that taught me how to shoot a basketball to put the spin on it. With no shoes on. We used to play basketball, play sandball fall with Dwight and Cannell and Chucky and Lenny and all the other persons in the community, Skinny and Foot and all of them. We grew up in this community, but we grew up respecting our elders. We grew up with manners. So when you see me, 2nd District, you go up to the hill and you talk about people like Bullet and Lesman, Kerry and Pong, Rudy, Sully, Piggy, Kimba, Aaron, Scarface, Darwin, Boogie, rest in peace. Bega, rest in peace. Coco, Mush, Maggie, Maya, Ryan, Waki, and all Brother Barry, Brother Elford, Sulin and Ellis, and all the crew. This is who I came from. And I am here to do one thing. Continue to earn the respect of the people that I represent. Now you may ask at the district, what have you done? And I'm glad you asked. Let me tell you what I have done. Between 2019 and 2023, when I started as an opposition member, because Honorable Skelton and I and Honorable Archibald Christian, we had crossed the floor in 2018. We went to the other side because we didn't like the way things were going. But on a district level, for infrastructural development, we were able to facilitate the contract signing and execution of the construction of the Just Van Dyke Primary School, which is now well on the way. We were able to execute the Ivan Dawson Primary School basketball court, which is over there, and the overlay and resurfacing, first surfacing of that school. In the 2nd District, while on the opposition, we were able to facilitate the construction of the Bruce Bay Beach restroom facility, which is yet to be open. We commissioned the sewage treatment plant right in there behind the school and saw it through to fruition. We partnered with the Ministry of Education for the completion of the remaining classroom to be functional at the Enos Adams Primary School. I say I was on the opposition, but I wasn't quiet on the opposition. I was on the opposition making noise for the people. We redesigned and reconstructed the Ballast Bay Bridge and road to access Lower Ballast Bay. Was instrumental in ensuring the following rehabilitation works were constructed and execution. A, 3 areas in the Windy Hill Road, the overlay of the road and Dog Hole in Just Van Dyke leading to the ferry terminal, and C, the reconstruction of the back road in Just Van Dyke from Rudy's heading to the grocery store and all the way to Foxy's. Those were things that yours truly made representation for on your behalf. We addressed the flooding issues in Bruce Bay, the bridges between Nichols Bar, the entrance to the Colwood residence in Bruce Bay. We agreed and had the funding completed for the outlay of the Bruce Bay Park. That was done by yours truly through private partnerships. I'm keep going, social care and assistance program. We were able to create a COVID assistance food delivery program. Every single day we were in the supermarkets ensuring that the less fortunate were able to receive meals. We partnered with Guana Island and Norma Island and Stacy Meta Development to feed the district seniors from the month of October 1st until Thanksgiving in 2021. We purchased food vouchers and donated to FSN, community churches, and pantries to assist the persons in need. We assisted the seniors with the transition of the assistance grants to the Social Development Department. I'm not done yet. For youth work and educational advancement, we provided grants to support the development of our athletes and students. Our athletes and students. I believe in the students. I believe in our athletes. I believe in our next NBA star, the first and only NBA star from the British Virgin Islands, Demoy Hodge. I believe from right here in King Garden Bay. We partnered with Bay Marine, my cousin Jelani Christopher, and the Wellness Center for charitable donations and contributions. We hosted basket school events for the 6 schools in the district. Just Van Dyke, Ivan Dawson Primary School, Enos Adams Primary School, Agape Total Life Academy, Imagination Academy, and Montessori School. Yes, I know all the schools in my district. I don't have to ask a question, and I don't have to ask for directions. We distributed awards for top students. I just started. And environmental projects and community cleanups. We did cleanups from King Garden Bay to New Bush to Great Mountain, from Great Harbor in Just Van Dyke, and even going to White Bay. We led community bush cutting in Mount Healthy and Soldiers Hill and to King Garden Bay as well. We facilitated cleanup of Sargon seaweed in Bruce Bay, King Garden Bay, Great Harbor, and White Bay, Just Van Dyke. And we partnered with the Rotary Club of Central Tortola for the replant of 70 coconut trees in the Bruce Bay community. On the national level, because I had an opportunity to serve as Minister for Natural Resources and Labor after the events of April 28th. What happened? There's a moment of silence for April 28th. The constitutional powers I was able to set at the national level, preserving the constitutional powers and our reputation of our economy. I stood up and I spoke up against the wrongdoings in the House of Assembly and in the operations of the last administration, bringing to light several issues that were being hidden from the public, some of which are now published in Auditor General reports. And people are reading and saying, I sat at the decision table and represented the people of this district and this community and this country to fight for the rights of the constitutional advancements after the events of April 28th and 29th, when our Constitution was being threatened to be suspended. We conducted assessments of existing labor and workforce development processes to determine the progressive way forward, leading to the pending introduction of a more effective and digitized system. We were able, in the interest of preserving our environment for the future generations and our tourism product, which King Garden Bay, Bruce Bay, Just Van Dyke, and the entire 2nd District is the hub. Don't mind what they try to tell you. King Garden Bay and the 2nd District is the tourism hub. It has been proven. That's why we have so many businesses in this district, and it will remain that way. Conservation interests such as coastal zones and beach development, the Blue Economy Roadmap. We forged partnerships with key regional and international environmental stakeholders such as the University of Southampton, GLISPA, and ECLAC through territorial representation. Yours truly was able to stand on the world stage and represent the BVI at the United Nations Ocean Conference in June of 2022. The United Nations and OECS Regional Conservatory Caucus as the incoming co-chair, and was able to reestablish the Climate Change Trust Fund Board. Ladies and gentlemen, those are just a few of the things that we've been able to accomplish. But you asked the question, because I hear them asking, what will you do? You see, those items before, I was fighting by myself in the opposition on behalf of you, the people. But what I will do now, if you look back at me, if you look behind me, you will see distinguished men and women. I don't have to look back because I know they have my back. But on my right, we have a chairman named Ronnie W. Skelton, who will be the next premier of these Virgin Islands. I have on my far right, Madam Speaker, who served the House of Assembly in these Virgin Islands as the Speaker of the House, Ingrid Moses Scatliff. I have on my left, behind me, my friend and brother for over 20-something years, Stacy Buddha Mehta, who says with him, it's automatic. We have the engineer, the organizer, somebody who has not quit. This is her 4th time, ladies and gentlemen, asking you for her support. And we have Shayna Smith Archer. So what will we do? Not me. What will we do with this movement, a PVIM government? We will construct and build the Bruce Bay Park facility, which has already been approved and funded for the community. With this PVIM government, we will execute the beautification project that was planned for the entire 2nd district, so that when you get out of the 3rd district and you get out of the 1st district and you come out of the 4th district and you come out of the 1st district, you will be able to see and in anticipation know that we will have oleander and hibiscus and grape tree planted along the roadside. So there's no longer need for bush cutting, but only grooming and manicuring of what we preserve here in this territory, so that when you come down to King Garden Bay Beach and when you go into Bruce Bay Beach, the pristine waters that are crystal clear and blue, and the white sand, and if you look up in the sky, there's a blue sky and with white clouds. Look at God, because this team represents blue, which is hope for a brighter tomorrow and hope for the BVI. This PVIM government will seek the completion of the road drainage infrastructure development in Spooner's Estate, East End and Great Harbor, Just Van Dyke, Mayaba, Bruce Bay, and Mount Healthy. With this PVIM government, we will have the sewage network contract that was discussed in 2017 right up there at the Methodist Church, and the contract signed in 2021, finally have it completed so that this community could continue to be prestige, continue to be pristine, and be the money-making district that it is intended to be. And the same will continue for my brothers and sisters over on the island of Just Van Dyke. Ladies and gentlemen, I have more, but I know the time is short, but we home. With this PVIM government, we will once and for all, I say once and for all, complete the recreation facility at Diamond Basketball Court with restrooms, vendor stalls, and a walking track for those who don't play basketball. You know why? Because leadership matters. You know why? Because Ronnie knows how to manage the money. You know why? Because Shayna is an engineer. You know why? Because it matters with Maynard. You know why? Because Ingrid will keep us in our integrity. And last but not certainly not least, because before, Ronnie could tell you when I first started, I had a list of about 40 things I wanted to do. So I have learned now, and I understood, that with this team, members in the districts and members that are at large will be so eager to fix some of the things that have been long-standing in our country, and not, as Ian said, put Band-Aid on them, but we will put permanent fix to long-lasting solutions. So I understand that building this district by district with a PVIM government, we will partner with our teachers and educators to facilitate after-school programs, inclusive of business development training, youth development curriculum, and life skills program for the students and young persons in this district, in our schools, and it will involve the rebuilding of the community centers, which are under the responsibility of the Ministry of Health. Virgin Islands and 2nd District community, there is hope. There is hope at the end of the dark tunnel. When I was young, my mom and dad taught me to stand up and speak. You heard my brother speak about it. I told you he was in his speech. And speak truth to power no matter what. And that's what I will continue to do for you. In the face of adversity, in the face of scorn, in the face of ridicule, because I am assured that there is nothing wrong with standing up for what is right, for speaking up for what is right, for going against the grain, even if it means you are standing alone. For the last 3.5 years, Virgin Islands and 2nd District community, there is more improvement that can be done. In every waking day of my life, I pledge to be more visible, to be more present, but I pledge more and above all else to continue to speak up on your behalf. Because I was the only one sometimes who was speaking up. And those who were offended by my courage and my boldness were threatening my very life. On 2 occasions, I was confronted. And I was asked if I don't stop going against the then premier and his government, I might be the cause of my daughter, the apple of my eye, growing up without a father. But what I continue to do and believe, that because I have courage, and because I am reminded of Psalms 23, it says, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restored my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will not fear, for thou art with me. You give me my voice, God, to speak. And I will continue to speak because I am not afraid. And I am not back down. And I will not yield to the enemies, because criminality and unethical activity will not be the norm in our BVI. We, the PVIM government, will fight to continue that corruption will not be the norm in our BVI. And I know members around me will stand up and get up in the house and talk the things just like Mitch. This PVIM government will not allow our sons and our daughters to continue to hear the screams for their fathers because they have been gunned down in the middle of the day. Second District community, I will fight. And we will fight to see a brighter tomorrow. I see those blue skies. I see the white sand. I see this PVIM team and this government leading you back to a place where we could once again lift our heads and restore the soul of this Virgin Islands. Because for far too long, we have allowed what is wrong to appear and be what is right. So I say to you, on Election Day, advanced polling on April 20th and April 24th, we're going down in the 1st District. And we're going to vote for Sylvia Romney Moses. We're going down in the 4th District. And we're going to take off the band-aids. And we're going to vote for Ian S. Smith. We're going in the 5th District where they were comfortable. And we're going to vote for Marvin M.B. Blyden. We're going across the water to the north, and we're going to put Shireen Flax Charles, the first woman to represent the 9th District of Virgin Gorda and Anegada. And at large, we're going to vote for Shayna Smith Archer. We're going to vote for Stacy Budameta. We're going to vote for Ingrid Moses Scatliff. We're going to vote for our chairman and next premier, Ronnie W. Skelton. And please don't forget, yours truly, please stick with Mitch.
Who is sticking with? Who is sticking with? Who is sticking with? They say he might be short. He might be short. But he could use the voice. His little brother says so. He shot, but he could use the voice well, sir. Listen, Mitch says so much I don't know where to start. Psalms 23rd, there you go. Be not afraid. Oh my God. Listen, Mitch, it's not funny with the mismanagement of BVI money. It's not funny, is it? We got to stick with Mitch. Well, listen, it ain't only Mitch we go stick with, you know. We got another lovely lady here. Mitch should talk about her just now. So I go start to talk about her. In 1994, she was working with Barclays Bank. Management development, that's where she started with. Then she became assistant manager in IT. Went on to become head of operations. Then she left from there and went to the financial services, project manager. From there, she moved on. Chief Registrar of Lands. Called to the bar in 2006. Yes, she's also a lawyer, folks. She's a serious person. Understands the law. Let me tell you more. She's a recipient of multiple Paul Harris Fellows. Those of you who don't know, I'll tell you after, no time now. But it's big. Huge. She served as president of the Rotary Club, and all you know the Rotary is. Speaker of the House for how many terms? How much terms, Mitch? 2 terms, not one. Not like the other speaker does 1, 2. Serious business people. So listen, I want you to hear her. Please put your hands together for the lady who is going to bring hope and restoration, a vision for our nation. Stand and put your hands together for Ingrid Moses Scatliffe.
Residents of the 2nd District, a warm and pleasant good evening to one and all. As introduced, I am Ingrid Moses Scatliffe, a member of your PVIM at-large team. I am excited to be here this evening with my team members as we rally behind our 2nd District Representative, Honorable Melvin Mitch Turnbull. This district is home to many special and significant aspects of Virgin Islands' history, culture, and our economy. A mixture of those elements forms the perfect opportunity to showcase cultural tourism to the hundreds of thousands of persons that pass through our islands on an annual basis. Right in this district, the BVI boasts some of the best beaches through King Garden Bay, Bruce Bay, and White Bay over on Yos Van Dyke. District 2, this district is home to the historic Colwood Distillery. It is the home of several of our cultural heroes. Heroes such as Foxy, Miss Janny Stout, and Keto Rima, as well as the many chefs and bakers with the sweetest hands in the Virgin Islands. Yes, I came to King Garden Bay Beach every summer as a child. That's where I learned to swim over here. Who can forget the summer days and nights when District 2 hosted the best music festival on the north side of the Caribbean chain? District 2, you have given the Virgin Islands much to be proud of, and a PVIM government wants to restore and boost much of that aspect of our tourism product. I believe that it is important to recognize the significance of cultural tourism in our society. Cultural tourism is the exploration and experience of different cultures and traditions, including art, architecture, history, cuisine, and more. It is a form of tourism that allows visitors to immerse themselves in the local culture and gain a deeper understanding of the values, beliefs, and customs of the people who inhabit a community. I believe that here in District 2, this community sits atop a magnificent opportunity for the Virgin Islands. You heard that? A magnificent opportunity for the Virgin Islands. Cultural tourism has immense benefits for both visitors and the host communities. Firstly, it is a significant source of economic growth and development. The tourism industry contributes significantly to the GDP of the Virgin Islands, and cultural tourism has the potential to generate more revenue than other forms of tourism. It creates employment opportunities, it promotes entrepreneurship, and it supports local businesses such as hotels, restaurants, and souvenir shops. One of the key economic benefits of cultural tourism is the generation of revenue through increased tourist spending. Visitors are often willing to pay a premium for unique cultural experiences, such as attending traditional festivals, visiting historic sites, and trying and tasting local cuisine. This revenue, in turn, can help to support local businesses and entrepreneurs, creating jobs and stimulating economic growth. Cultural tourism can help to diversify local economies, reducing dependence on a single industry or sector. Communities that invest in cultural tourism can leverage their unique cultural assets to attract visitors from around the world, promoting a more diverse range of economic activity. This can help to stabilize our local economy and create opportunities for sustainable growth. It creates opportunities for cultural entrepreneurship, supporting the growth of small businesses and startups that specialize in cultural products and services. For example, a community that invests in cultural tourism might see a surge in demand for artisanal products, such as locally made handicrafts or traditional textiles. This, in turn, can create new opportunities for small businesses and entrepreneurs to showcase their products and grow their own customer base. To bring this point closer to home, imagine cultural tourism giving us the chance to expose even more visitors to the Colwood Distillery. With strategic support in promoting the distillery and its products, we stand a chance to create such a demand that even more so throughout our islands from Anegada to Jost van Dyke, each shop and supermarket would want and understand the importance of ensuring their shelves are stocked with products from Colwood Distillery. Secondly, cultural tourism promotes cultural exchange and understanding. It allows our visitors to appreciate the diversity of cultures and traditions, fostering a greater understanding of the unique qualities that make each community special. When tourists interact with us, they are exposed to different perspectives and the ways of life, broadening their understanding of the world. Imagine a busy Sunday afternoon down here at King Garden Bay Beach, and on stage, guests and even residents new to our islands are treated to a play by our very own Johnny Stout about life in the Virgin Islands. Life in the Virgin Islands so many years ago. As simple as a play might seem, it gives people a chance to go back in time in the Virgin Islands and provide context and perspective as to how far we have come as a people, that our story is one to be appreciated. Those types of experiences for cultural exchanges are needed for greater cultural awareness and understanding of who we are, even among our very own people. Thirdly, cultural tourism preserves and protects our cultural heritage. When tourists visit cultural sites, they should contribute to their maintenance and upkeep. This in turn helps to ensure that these sites are preserved for future generations to experience and appreciate. Cultural tourism should also encourage us to take pride in our cultural heritage. Communities that invest in cultural tourism can be motivated to maintain and restore cultural sites, monuments, and artifacts to attract visitors. This not only preserves cultural heritage for future generations, but also helps to promote sustainable tourism, ensuring that cultural tourism destinations remain attractive and authentic for years to come. In conclusion, cultural tourism should be a crucial aspect of our society. I believe that we should recognize the importance of this form of tourism and promote its growth and development. It is not only an economic engine, but it is also a way to promote cross-cultural understanding and preserve our cultural heritage. These are the types of ideas and opportunities that a PVIM administration believes are integral for us to maintain ownership of our economy, but also staying true to who we are as Virgin Islanders and ensuring that future generations are rooted in our traditions and our culture. To achieve this goal, we need to ensure that a PVIM government is elected to the next House of Assembly. We need to ensure that integrity and accountability is restored through leadership in the Honorable Ronnie W. Skelton in these Virgin Islands. We need to ensure that we restore the soul of these Virgin Islands. And we need a PVIM government to safeguard the future for the next generation of Virgin Islanders. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen of the 2nd District, I say that with the men and women that are on this party's ticket, there is much hope for the Virgin Islands. I ask for your support on advance polling day on April 20th and election day on April 24th for me, Ingrid Moses Catliff, and the entire PVIM team, comprising of District 1 candidate, Sylvia Romney Moses. Our very own 2nd District candidate, Honorable Melvin Mitch Turnbull. 4th District candidate, Ian Smith. 5th District candidate, the Mayor, Marvin M.B. Blyden. Across the waters in Virgin Gorda, our 9th District candidate, Honorable Shireen Flax Charles. And your 4 at-large candidates, and you're getting 2 for 1. Shayna Smith, Stacey Mehta, Honorable Ronnie W. Skelton, our leader, and myself, Ingrid Moses Catliff. Thank you very much for listening.
Yes, I am voting for Ingrid Moses Catliff.
Ingrid is someone we trust to stand up for us. Ingrid puts the country first. Integrity is a must. Check her background. Ingrid doesn't back down. Doing what's right no matter the price. She is not afraid.
She's ready to fight.
I am with Ingrid. I am with Ingrid. She's ready to fight. So everybody sing yeah.
Election day, vote for Ingrid Moses. She don't play, everybody knows it. Election day, vote for Ingrid Moses. Catliff, Ingrid Moses.
boy, wasn't she amazing? Wasn't she amazing? I love what Ingrid said there, boy. We hosted the best music fest. Bring it back. What y'all think? Bring back the music fest, eh? And she said only one man can get it done. Look him there. Who that is? Who he is? The next leader, Ronnie. It's not funny with mismanaged funds. It's our money. But listen, somebody hand me something here. I'm going to steal what they said here. They say, people, are you ready? Say yes, yes. Yes, yes. Say yes, yes. Yes, yes. And join the mix because we have a fix. And the fix is Ian Smith. And he is up next. And he's going to invite you and tell you why you need to come and listen to him speak tomorrow. Give him a round of applause, help him up. Ian Smith, our District 4 representative.
Vote progressive. So winners, your vote. Catch the wave. Vote progressive. This thing's simple, solving the problem. One way to vote at PVIM. Ronnie and the team gonna make things happen. You know we're stronger together. We got to try secure the future.
Good evening, District 2 and people of the British Virgin Islands. District 2 is special to me, but I feel slighted. I'm hearing about the Bay and Mays. What about New Bush? The chairman and I know the chairman feels the same way. So, Honorable Turnbull, you have to fix that. I am Ian Smith, and I'm happy to be here tonight to support my brother and running mate, Melvin Mitch Turnbull. Give him a round of applause. You of all people know that the British Virgin Islands needs political representatives like Mitch. So continue to stick with Mitch. The man who represented you with a conscience and has produced results. You heard the list of projects. Did he do nothing? People of the 2nd District, don't mind the noise. As we say in softball, big stick, no noise. People of the 2nd District, we have much work to do. So re-elect Melvin Mitch Turnbull to the next House of Assembly. Also re-elect Shayna Smith Archer, the engineer and organizer. Stacy Buddha Mehta, the educator. And Mr. Automatic. And Ingrid Moses Catliff, the strategic thinker. And Ronnie W. Skelton, the fixer and strategist. People of the BVI also elect Sylvia in the 1st. Ian for the 6th in the 4th. Elect MB as only he can make it better in the 5th. Elect our team to the next House of Assembly to begin the move away from the Band-Aid mentality and cronyism and for long-term and meaningful solutions. Mitch, along with the rest of the PVIM team, will get the job done right. I would like to take this opportunity to invite you to come out tomorrow evening at 7:30 p.m. at the bandstand in Road Town to hear firsthand how I and the PVIM team will rein in the Treasury, restore conscience to the House of Assembly, and reinstate your confidence in political representatives to make choices that will benefit both you and the future generations. I tell you, you don't want to miss it. Thank you, and good night.
Beware of the
I'm back again. But just for the last time, y'all hear Mitch behind me saying, uh-huh? I want to hear y'all in front here saying, uh-huh, too. Because I'm going to need your help to bring my leader up. I'm going to need your help. The next premier, you beat me to it. He was the Minister of Finance and the Minister of Health and Social Development. He is the man that brought back quality of life to our beautiful British Virgin Islands. He implemented the 911 emergency call center. I ain't hearing the rest of y'all, you know. He built homes for low-income families. He introduced policy for increased scholarships up to $18,000. Y'all gotta walk with me here now. Uh-huh. He introduced a policy for duty exemption for taxi drivers. He introduced a policy for free tuition at HLSCC for belongers. He implemented the National Health Insurance Scheme. He was part of the construction of the new People's Hospital, construction of Nurse Iris O'Neill Medical Center, introduced a policy for the first $10,000 of income on your payroll, tax-free. Let me hear, you get a $10,000 free? Implemented the postal code system, brought back 20 million of land for land bank, introduced tobacco legislation, introduced child protection legislation, founded the last salary review for public service. We ain't had none since. We haven't had none since. Wait, what's going on here? Listen, we gotta fix it. Listen, this young man from a very young age was chosen by his parents to lead the Skelton group of companies. In 2021, he was appointed chairman of the RDA board. He is the man who knows the answers and is going to lead the BVI back to prosperity. Get to your feet and help me welcome the next premier of the British Virgin Islands, Ronnie W. Skelton!
Randy is the man who'll take this country forward. Randy gets it done. And Progressive Virgin Islands movement is the party with the plan. And let me tell you who he is now. A man of action, not just talking. He'll build us up, he's not joking. Okay. A leader whose record is proven. PVIM is the real thing. He's the leader we need in these times. He's got a strong team right behind me.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for those kind words.
Yes, Mr. Premier.
Ladies and gentlemen, residents and voters in the 2nd District, they say a leader is only as good as the people he's leading. So you have heard the people, some of the people that I am leading. Do you think I am a good leader? Because these team members of mine are extremely good. I am extremely impressed with the people I am leading. So residents and voters of the 2nd District, I am here once again. I have passed through to ask you, to beg you, to plead with you for the votes, for you to vote. I had a technology malfunction. I came by to ask you to vote once again for Mitch Turnbull, your district representative and the PVIM district candidate. I have known Mitch now even before he was in politics. I think I appointed him on a board to Health Services and Youth Development Board. And he has always impressed me. He has a mind, he can think, he knows what he wants. And he is willing to do whatever is necessary to represent the people of the 2nd District and protect the values of the British Virgin Islands. So I am happy. I am extremely happy to be here with you this evening on the same stage as Mitch Turnbull. But ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are watching us on social media or listening to us on social media and radio station, I want to say also a special good night to you. My name is Ronnie W. Skelton, and I am the leader of the Progressive Virgin Islands movement. Our country, residents and voters of the 2nd District and the entire British Virgin Islands is in crisis. And they ask, where was I? But those of you who know me know that I never stand still. I was on the RDA board, and they called me to help them accomplish what they wanted to do. The high school, the roads, and the bridges. And the last thing I did was starting the Just Van Dyke's Primary School complex. This is where I was. And if you couldn't find me there, then you had to look in Fish Bay, where my family business is. And if you think that I wasn't doing anything, well, then that's sad. Because it's sad in the sense that you expected a lot more from me. And I am willing to give you a lot more. That's why I'm here asking you to vote for me once again, so that I can take this country with my colleagues out of the crisis that it's in. I want to help. I had a lot of friends for over a year digging me in my side when I speak in cutlass, telling me I have to go and help. So here I am. I am here now, and I want to help. And I must help, and I can help. Our country is at stake. We need every able body to help bring this country from where it is. We're in a bad place. We are looked at in a very negative light, both locally and internationally. We have been recently blacklisted. Is it because of all the things that happened to us? We don't know, and they will not tell us. But we are blacklisted. So, ladies and gentlemen, I was here before. I was the Minister for Health and Social Services. I was the Minister for Finance at one time, and I was the Deputy Chief Minister at one time also. And through all of that period, if you check my record, you will note that all I did was good things for the people of the Virgin Islands and my country. And over those many years, I have developed many skills. I have a lot of experience. Those of you who are older now, don't worry about some of the things that you used to worry about before, because you know how to fix the things that you used to worry about before. So when my young colleagues are worrying and getting anxious, I turn to them and say, listen, just relax. There's a solution to the problem, and we can fix it. So ladies and gentlemen, residents and voters of the 2nd District, you know, you hear talk, they're saying they have created a greedy bill. And our first order, one of our first order of business, I can't speak for the speaker, but one of our first order of business is to repeal the amendment to the Retiring Legislation Act Cap 139 and set a decent salary for legislators. One of the amendments that is troubling in the bill, they ask that all salaries will include allowances. But I will stand here because I know in the House what happens. That's a loophole. Because if I am the minister, the premier of the country, the minister of finance, and I want to give you a raise, I know if I come straight out and ask for a raise, I will have a swell of people rioting in the streets. So I gave you an allowance. So it's a loophole. That's why we have to repeal the whole amendment. And it will be repealed. Just elect us, send us to the House of Assembly, and we will repeal it. So you have heard my team. We have assembled a team of competent, capable individuals with abilities that you didn't imagine that we had. We had Buddha, Stacey Buddha Mater. You heard him. You heard what he can do, given the opportunities to look after the young people of this country. Voters of the 2nd District, you heard Shana Smith. Shana has been here many times, begging and pleading. And I begging you on behalf of Shana once more. Shana is one of the most organized person that I ever met. And that's what this country needs now. It needs organization. The country is in a mess. The country is dirty. The country has derelict vehicles everywhere. The country has derelict boats everywhere. Shana is so organized that I could guarantee you in a very short space of time that she will put order to the madness. I have Ingrid Moses Catliff. Ingrid, again, she's a lawyer by profession, and we have many, many problems in the social system of this country. I remember standing before this country approximately 4 years ago, saying to you, the social problems of this country are going to destroy us. And we're almost there. We listen to the people who deals with this stuff, who counsel people. Domestic violence is out of control. We need court system to deal with this stuff in a very private way as quickly as possible. Child abuse is on the rise. We need people like Ingrid who know the system. She knows the system, so she can get us from ground zero to where we need to be in a very short space of time. So that's why we need Ingrid. Ladies and gentlemen, I know we have farmers in the second district, many. The PVIM government is extremely concerned, or will be concerned about food security of this country. I don't know if you guys recognize what nearly happened to us in 2017, when the two hurricane Irma destroy us. The Puerto Ricans run to our rescue. Maria came 2 weeks after, destroyed Puerto Rico. There was nothing left for her to destroy here, because Irma already destroyed everything that we had. Destroyed Puerto Rico and was heading to Miami. If that hurricane had entered the ports of Miami, we would have been in problems. So we have to develop some level of food security here. We have to get the pig farmers, the goat farmers, the sheep farmers, the vegetable farmers to get on board and let the government try to assist these farmers in producing food. Every place in this world, farming is subsidized. Every country of this world. So a government here in the Virgin Islands trying to subsidize farming to advance food security cannot be a bad thing. We need to get water to the farmers. But while we will do the first thing, we will get the help for the farmers. But the farmers also must produce. And once the farmers are producing, every one of us will be happy. So this government intends to give free water to the farmers who are willing to produce it within some rules. Because we also understand that farmers have many challenges. Many. Their business is affected by drought, floods, hurricane, pests. What else? Heat. So we understand that the farmer's going to need help if we are supposed to eat healthy. Because a whole health system is based on exercise and healthy eating. So when I was there and I was building a healthcare system, I was not building a hospital. I was not trying to build a helipad. I was not trying to build NHI. I was trying to build a comprehensive healthcare system for the people of the Virgin Islands, from Antigua to Jost Van Dyke. The farmers, no pesticides, food will end up in the hospital on the plates of our people where we'll eat healthy. All the food we get from overseas, we don't know what they are made of. All the water we drink in plastic bottles, we don't know what they are made of. So we need to get to a space where we're producing more of what we need to eat. We need to go into the schools because obesity is a big thing here in this country. I know the young will fret about it, but we need to get rid of all these foods, these soft drinks. We need to get rid of all these soft drinks out of the school system. Somebody's said something about Buster. I don't know what's a Buster. Okay, we need. I drink water now, you know. I like my good friend Pops. We drink water, right, Pops? we don't drink soft drinks anymore. So we need to get our country healthy. If we can get our country healthy, then we don't need to use the hospital. We don't need to use medicine. We don't need to spend a lot of money on health care. So the whole idea is to get these stuff, but prevent people from using them. But only use them when you need them. So that's what I was trying to do, to build a comprehensive healthcare system. And I understand recently that we had no ambulances to go pick up our kids. To pick up, not kids, to pick up seniors and people who are sick, they're injured. I understand the ambulance were in the garage. But when I was there, we used to switch out ambulances every 4 years. And I know it's going now on 6 years since we have ambulances. And we are spending money on everything else, except on the things we need to spend them on. Because all of us know, if long ago, when I was growing up, we take the people, put them in a vehicle and rush them to the hospital. Nowadays, people don't do that much. They wait for the ambulance. The paramedics are probably the better person to work on you to get you to the hospital. MB and I will probably not get you there. But the whole idea is to have the equipment and the facilities that you need as a modern society to protect our people. So I am with Stacey Budameta to make sure in the schools that we have healthy lifestyles being taught in the schools. And I don't know if we can go that far to advocate for a national policy on obesity. The air qualities indoors and outdoors is a problem in our country. My good teammate here, Ingrid Moses, whenever she walks into a mold-infested place, she starts coughing. So we as a government, a PVIM government, must do whatever is necessary to improve the air quality in those spaces. And we must produce legislation that this will happen. And one of the things I think it's, Stacey, small businesses in this country. You know, some of us have started small, and that's where you should start small. We all start small, everything starts small. But small businesses need help. And they just don't need word of mouth help, they need financial help. In the PVIM government, we talk about it for years. We put monies in, but we never follow through and make it a viable system. A PVIM government will make sure that there is funding for small businesses. And when you use the first tier of small business, you can graduate to another tier. We will try to make small business because that's what I grew up knowing in my country. Lots of small businesses, from one end of Town to the other, from all over the countryside, the little shops and the little stores. This is what keeps families together. This is what builds ingenuity in children just selling in your parents' store. And they feel good about that. We must streamline the process, and I think one of my colleagues just said concerning trade licenses. I could never understand why if I want to renew a trade license, why I need to wait 6 months to renew a trade license. I don't understand it. And once you get something, renewing should be just automatic. I don't understand why I need to wait 12 months to get a trade license or a work permit. These things are wrong. We can't build a country this way. A PVIM government is going to look into these stuff and we're going to fix them. We're going to fix these things. Some of you might get angry with us because we're fixing them too fast. But listen, for the next generation of people, of our citizens, to be able to take the next leap in this country, we have to fix these problems now. We can't leave it for them to fix. Then they're going to miss the leap. Because all of us who are of age recognize that if you go back in the country's history, the people who are big businesses today were small businesses. And quite a number of small businesses disappear off the scene. But that's the natural order of progression. So we need to fix this stuff so all young people who come in behind us can do what needs to be done. You know, cryptocurrencies, you know, AI, artificial intelligence. That's where they need to be. We are in the part of the world where we need to fix the stuff so that it can jump off. And a PVIM government will do that. So ladies and gentlemen, residents and voters of the 2nd District, and those in Joss Van Dyke, Zanigata, Virgin Gorda, and I understand we have some voters on Guana, Salt Island, still? Cooper Island. Listen to us. We are the team that you need now to fix this country. You heard the other side talking. But nobody comes out and tell you what is the financial state of our country. I am begging and pleading with the government, they're still in office, to please issue to this country the financial affairs of this country. Because if they do that, then we'll know exactly what we need to do when we get in. So we are asking you to support us. Support all candidates. Support Sylvia Moses in the 4th District. This is the first time the 1st District will have a female representative. Sylvia comes highly decorated, integrity intact, transparency intact, accountability intact. And she has hope for the 1st District. So we need you to vote for Sylvia Moses. So some of you who are here in the 2nd, who have families in the 1st District, tell your mother, to tell your father, to tell your grandmother, to tell your uncle to vote for Sylvia Moses. in the 2nd District. Be sticking with Mitch. There's nothing else. Right now, we sticking with Mitch. We sticking with Mitch. Mitch has done a lot of work. And sometimes I think he's, those Energizer bunnies, always going. I remember one time, when he meet me by road on wholesale. I think this was just after the hurricane. And he and I up there loading up a truck to go just from the exit. No, he cares about the people he represents. Anybody telling you differently, no, it's unfair. If you need him, take up the phone and call. Make a simple call. You can't expect us to read your minds. Please call us, and we will be there to represent you and to listen to your concerns. In the 4th District, we have Ian Smith. And you hear he came from New Bush. Yeah, his mother came from New Bush. And my wife came from New Bush. So we all came from the bush. Ian, again, Ian as a banker, he runs his family business, highly educated, knows what he wants, knows how to get things done. Come on, this is a party of people who know how to get things done. So we need you in the 4th District. We'll be there tomorrow to vote for Ian Smith. Because we need Ian Smith to help us to get out of the mess we're in. And trust me, I hear some of them get up saying that if the Virgin Island Party don't get elected, they're going to suspend the Constitution. And I never listen to more foolishness. Pure nonsense. The people who put us in the foolishness telling us that if you don't elect them, they can suspend the Constitution. That's taking the people of the Virgin Islands for fools. And that can't happen. We are too smart for that. So residents and voters of the Virgin Islands, don't be fooled. In the 5th District, we got a mayor for them. Melvin M.B. Blyden. And listen, a simple guy, helps everybody. If you call him at 1 o'clock in the morning, tell him your stomach hurting you need some. What the word is, MB? Paragoic? He will leave his bed and go and make sure you have that medication. This guy single-handedly built a business. MB's Ice, MB's Rental Properties, Kuma, MB's Laundry. And this guy did it with his family. And you tell me he's not a leader? This is a guy who can walk into the bank and get monies for a care loan. And there's a lot of us can't do that. But we call it now a man who is so successful. The country is spinning backwards. We want you in the 5th District to vote for Melvin Blyden. And don't forget Melvin from down there, up there the bay. Right there. By Tata. But we need MB. I understand the guy up there now is running scared. There's no reason to be scared. We are just humans. We are just trying to get the right fix in the fifth. And across the waters, we have a woman out there just like Mitch. Powerful, like to represent people. And when she sat in the room when they were all like lambs agreeing to everything, she was one of them who spoke out. Yeah. And because of that, she was cast aside. A good woman to speak up for people in our country. And Shireen Flax-Charles is our representative in the 9th district. And we need you to call your friends and your family in the 9th and say, don't pass up this opportunity to vote for Shireen Flax-Charles. Shireen will keep us in order if we try to get out. Not that we will. And then you have your at-large team. You have Shayna Smith, the engineer, the project manager, who intend to fix every problem that we have. And then we have the young man, Stacy Buddha Mehta. Young people and the elderly matters to Stacy Buddha Mehta. And his record is quite impressive. So we need you, voters of the 2nd district. When you go to the polls, on advanced polling 20 days from now, the 20th of April. And when you go on the 24th of April, 24 days from now, vote for Buddha Stacy Mehta because it matters. And don't forget to vote for Ingrid Moses Catliffe. Yeah. Ingrid, we can't go any place without Ingrid, no? We need Ingrid, the social, don't take this lightly, the social ills of this country in the schools, out of the schools, in the homes, need attention, ladies and gentlemen, voters of the Virgin Islands. And we need Ingrid to help us to get systems and institutions in place so we can have an enlightened society. We need Ingrid. And ladies, voters of the 2nd district, you know me. I work in electricity, I know LV. Well, put it another way. I used to know every little hole in the 2nd district. Wherever there was a house, I know where it was. Because we get electricity to those houses, you had to travel those roads. So I am quite aware of the 2nd district. I was the one at electricity when we put power into Jost van Dijk's from the mainland. And the chief minister of that time was the representative for the force, which is the Honorable Lavity Stout, of blessed memory, who turned to me and said, Ron, Skelly, old boy, I need to get the power to Jost van Dijk's. I said, Chief, if you have the money, I can get it done. He provided the money and it was done. So I am asking you to vote, trust me, one more time with your vote. I beg you. I will make you proud once again. So ladies and gentlemen, with those few words, I would like to say good night. May God bless you and these Virgin Islands.
Randy gets it done. And listen when me tell you, Randy is the man who'll take this country forward. Randy gets it done. And Progressive Virgin Islands movement is the party with the plan. And let me tell you who he is now. A man of action, not just talking. He'll build us up, he's not joking. Okay. A leader whose record is proven. PVIM is the real thing. He's the leader we need in these times. He's got a strong team right behind. What me say? With PVIM and running, you got a party of integrity.
Can I call up the rest of our team? Marvin M.V. Blyden in the 5th. In the 4th, we have the man with the fix, Ian Smith. And of course, in the 1st, the first lady that's going to get elected for the first time in the 1st, Sylvia Romney Moses. Just to remind you that the next week, on Saturday, as Ian had reminded us, D4 rally, that's at the bandstand in Longbush. On Sunday, the 2nd, we're in D9, that's of course VG with Shireen Flax Charles. On Monday, we're in District 7, we're at the Stickett in the east. And then on Wednesday, it's the 5th in the 5th with the man himself, the mayor, Marvin M.B. Blyden, Huntup's Gut. And then on the 6th, it's Town Hall meeting. We're going to be in Anegada. So that's our upcoming week. Don't miss that. Just let me remind you as we close, our premier requested, and I hope they're listening, and we speak to the audience out there, please issue the financial affairs of our country. We need them. Please issue them. And there was a call that our premier requested. I'm going to request it again on his behalf. He said, if you make the wrong decision, you will experience personal and national pain. If you make the wrong decision on the 24th, you will experience personal and national pain. Yes, boy, pain, lot of pain. He said, and he has asked, please, don't send me alone. Send me with my soldiers. Here are the soldiers. Give them a round of applause. Brothers and sisters, it's not funny with the mismanagement of the BVI's money. It's been a pleasure with you here tonight, this amazing crowd. God bless you all, and God bless these beautiful Virgin Islands. See you tomorrow night. Longbush, the man that's going to fix it, Ian Smith. Bye for now. God bless you all.
I don't know who needs to have this, but we don't need no change in the second district.
And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, so we still sticking with Mitch. If it ain't broke,